Nellie and Laurie here from
Greetings.
So Right. And we are here to share some ideas for some quick quilts because we get a lot of these requests from customers.
Yes,
Often.
we do.
Especially, now these days we're pressed for time, but we still want to make something beautiful and thoughtful. But, not too picky or finicky or fussy. We just, something graphically appealing.
Correct.
And so one of our favorite recommendations that Laurie turned me on to is this series.
Yes, it's created by a woman, created a company called Fabric Cafe. It's Donna Robertson, and she makes these 3-yard quilts. So all you need are 3 different cuts of fabric. She also gives you yardage instructions so that usually the 1 yard of each color is a throw. So there are also cutting directions for larger sizes, twin, queen, king, etc. But you'll need more yardage, but not necessarily more colors. So that kind of helps you in that you're not overwhelmed by color choices.
So today what we thought would be fun is, since Laurie is our resident color expert, we offer this exclusive service here where if you bring in some blocks or some projects and you're kind of stuck, that this is a serious thing, customers come in and they ask Laurie for her help or for her eye or for a second opinion, and we know that some people just want some support in that. They're challenged by picking colors, or you've just been looking at this quilt for so long you don't know what to do. So I thought it'd be fun to enlist Laurie's help here.
Thank you.
In picking some color combinations. And look, they don't always have to be from the same collection. Sometimes
Correct.
it's easier to sew that way.
Correct.
But we find that it's fun to mix and match. And Laurie will go through some of these combos with us today.
Right. We are always getting new fabric, and when it comes in, I am just in awe of some of the colors. And I sometimes don't know what to do with it. So this is a great way to think of a project. So when I consider color, I kind of look at the piece that draws my eye to the whole group. And again, Nellie says it doesn't have to be all from the same group, but this is a beautiful floral. And then you're going, well, what goes with it? What would I need? All of these patterns in this book point to a focal fabric. So you want support fabrics that might go along with that focal fabric.
I'm hiding you.
I know, I'm going, whoops, where am I?
So in this is a bigger print. This is not a large scale
Correct.
print, but this is a pretty big focal print. So you would want to start with something like this, you're saying?
You could, and I would consider this a focal because it's overwhelming.
Right.
So oftentimes people come in and say or choose a solid in somewhere within this color menu. But solids don't always necessarily work well because there's a lot of variety of depth in the way they colored this print. So I'm looking for something that will blend well, but might be a different scale in terms of the size of the print. So sometimes I'll look for something like this. And there is a print built in. It is part of the same family, so it will go, but it's a different size. So let's say that this is 75% floral. This is overall scattered, got low volume
Yes.
volume floral here.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be a nice choice.
And one of the things I've learned is if you're really struggling to cheat, you can look at the selvage too.
Right, there are color dots.
Right here. So these dots on the selvage have isolated all the colors that are in the fabric. So if you are just, really just having a hard time finding something, or this print is sold out, you just find
Correct.
something within one of these color families. Like the pink is shown here, the red is shown here, and these are all also matching
Part
these
of that
color
group.
dots in this collection.
So we've got a lot of print going on here, so we want something to calm your eye down because there may be a lot of activity. And when you create a quilt, you want to see the pattern too. So you might not want to add another print, but you might want to add another colorway. And with a smaller print, that's only two-toned.
Gorgeous. I love that. And this is sort of like the middle, right, between
Correct.
these two, and gives it. When I first was a baby quilter, I learned my teacher would always say, you need a place for the eye to rest.
Correct.
Right. You can't have, and I always want to throw in gobs and gobs of prints and color, but I understood the concept of having a place to rest your eyes.
I agree.
So
with
is this
you.
your resting place?
That would be my resting place. Also, in terms of I guess, light value. This could be kind of like your dark value, because
Right.
sometimes parents say light, medium, dark.
Right.
This could be your medium value, and this could be your light.
And the fun thing with these quilts is it's 3 yards, so you just have to
Right.
pick light, medium, dark, and that's pretty basic, and
Right.
it'll get you a really good result as long as you have that contrast, right?
Right.
So like some examples are
Yeah, there's a floral in there that
Right.
looks like a trellis, I believe, right?
And then all you really need is you would probably use the main floral as it's a churn dash, right?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
The main for the block here, the plain block, and the churn dash, you would probably use a combo of these two.
Correct. And then
Right.
you see the nice floral there.
Right. So there's an opportunity to highlight
Right.
the focal point.
So
Great.
say that you want to do the churn dash, but you don't want to stick with traditional fabric. We can make it, what if we say we want to churn dash with novelty baby fabric? Will that work? Question mark. We'll see.
Right.
We have a vibrant stripe. It's cute. Now, this is made by Riley Blake, and it's also marketed with Crayola, Fisher Price. So we've got that bright pop of color in the stripe.
And the coordinates in this are also
Right, the
very-
coordinates are the ABCs with cute little animals.
And what would you say about scale for this?
I would say you want large, medium, and small.
Okay.
Now, the problem with just these two side by side is one is gray and one is white. You can't see the print. It doesn't make an impact because they're too similar. So you need something to divide it. So that's why this would go.
Okay.
All right?
What if this is too much?
I agree.
print?
It's too much print. And you have to then make a choice. It's kind of like choosing who's your favorite child.
I want to be sophisticated, baby. I don't want
Okay.
so much novelty. What would I do to tone it down a little
I
bit?
would get another fabric that isn't a primary color necessarily or has that kid appeal. So
Okay.
I got a few bolts here. I started with this and I thought I'd like it, but it doesn't have the same type of feeling.
Right. It
it's-
kind of washes it out.
Right, and
almost.
it's called grunge and it's got a very urban feel. I don't think it
Right.
goes well with baby. It doesn't
Right.
play well, so I'm going to eliminate this.
Okay.
Then I thought that these hearts would go, but if you look, the red in this is too tomatoey. So I said, oh, well, so we have to eliminate the hearts. But I wanted something that read more solid.
Right.
So I finally decided, and again, this is all very subjective. This had
Oh.
some interplay of some geometrics. Has some red, has some lightness in it.
Yes.
And also, visually, it's kind of geometric, but not the same type of stripy geometric.
I like this, and it's
cute.
You're right. This is the right tone of red. It's not like a bright primary red. It's
Right.
almost got a like a
How would you describe it?
brown
Right.
to it. You know, it's not like a
Little
red
hint of
hot
brown.
red. A
Correct.
little bit of brown.
So this will help rest your eye, you know?
Gorgeous.
And has a small geometric, and again, we call this a low volume print.
And if you still love this,
You could
So-
add it.
you can add it to the back too.
Right.
As the backing. I tend to like busy prints like this, and this is an alphabet, so you can see it's got all the different alphabets on it. For a baby quilt, that's great for a back. And
I
it's one
agree.
of those like fun things that you can see the whole thing. It's not too busy. You don't need to piece it or anything.
Or you could
Right,
alternate. If you've got
right.
a lot of separation between these two blocks, these two, so they're not merged together at all. You've got a
Right.
separation of the stripe or this low volume red.
Right. Like maybe
It could
something
work.
like this.
Right, you
This-
see that.
with bigger gaps in between the blocks. It looks like a gap, but it's just
Yes.
more solid.
Right, you could alternate them. So that way you could have both the best of both worlds.
Very
All
cool.
right.
All
Okay.
right.
Do we have one more?
I think
We
do.
have one more. It's very similar to the floral, but this tends to look a little more sophisticated in that it's directional and same time rather pretty. And it's got metallic in it.
Real
So you can make an elegant looking quilt just with 3 yards.
Ooh, I love this peachy color.
So we've got mushrooms, we've got
Stars.
stars with metallic, like rose gold stars.
And this color is just very great, like very hot right now for
Right.
interiors, and it's a neutral
Right.
almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an orangey, peachy pink.
Ooh.
And then, are those peonies, or I don't even know what these are?
I'm not very good at flower
We're not good at these flowers,
identification.
sorry. It's your beautiful
but it's
generic
gorgeous.
flower.
And here you have the same scale focal print theme coming through.
Right.
Correct. The scale of this is a little bit larger than the scale of the mushrooms.
Right.
So there's enough, and this is sort of your middle.
Right.
So
now, interestingly enough, the fabric that everything is laying on, this piece would.
Yeah, it actually looks really great.
Right. In
All of
fact, I
them.
think I've used this whole group, and
Yeah.
I've used both this and this.
Yes.
So again, 3-yard book
Minimum.
minimum, but you can add, again, alternate the mushrooms. Find a place for maybe the mushrooms on the border. You know, you can find a happy home for all 4 if you need, but 3 of these would go well together as well. I might, again, sacrifice between these two, the flowers or the mushrooms, and use the stars and the color underneath. That
The
could be my
grunge.
3 blocks.
Gorgeous. And this is, again, we are carrying most of this series, so if you need a copy of this book, we have it in store.
Yes, and we have some samples on the wall still, so you
Yeah.
can take a look at of some of the other patterns that she offers.
And Lori is available for her color services.
And Nellie can help me too. Marianne, anyone can help.
Yes.
I like to play detective here, so I'm not the only source, but I
Right.
do like doing this.
Right, so this is a fun way to even use up, even if you have 1 yard of a focal print you really love, don't know what to do with it, bring it in. We'll
Yeah.
help you find some
Yeah,
coordinates.
we'll do some investigative
yes,
work.
and pair it with something fun to yield a really beautiful project for you to share. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you for your time.
See you soon.